Hey there, my name's Festus. I just want to have a quick look at integrating animations into the Cypher System role-playing system for Foundry. This is using two modules, AutomatedAnimations and the Cypher System roleplay. I did a bit of integration work to integrate the two of them together. It's not yet released as of this date. It's all functional working. I just need to talk to the AutomatedAnimations developer. So this module is just called AutomatedAnimations. It's available on the Foundry. It's got a couple of requirements. I think it's sequencer and socket lib, and you'll also need some form of animations. It integrates with the JB2A animation system, either the patron or the free one, to give you the animations. Your configuration setup for it is pretty basic, but the way that it works, if we have a look at AutomatedAnimations, it plays animations based on an ability, an item, or a combat skill or something like that. But things like recovery rolls don't have a skill associated to them. They're embedded in the user interface. So I've added in the ability to associate an animation with criticals, roll of 20, fumbles, roll of 1, recovery rolls, might rolls, speed rolls, and intellect rolls. Generally, otherwise, if you look at this is a combat skill. Any item, ability, or skill will have this little icon and AA on it. That's the Automated Animations tab, and you can then add customize animation. It'll look like this by default. You can have a couple of options: play below the token, disable it, add a macro after the animation. And then it's got a whole user interface here upon which you can dredge through your animation types. All of these are functional within this integration. I'm not sure about Aura. I haven't really played around with it. Templates haven't really played around, but with melee, range, on token, and then within that subset, this is ranged attacks, weapon, spell, generic. All of this is pulled in from the JB2A library. This is generic based on any system you use, so I haven't done any of this stuff. You can see your animation, and what that gives you is if your players target some sort of enemy and either select themselves or not, I think at this moment that should work. Roll the skill and boom, there we go. We have an animation associated to that combat skill. If you don't select the token, it just defaults to the token that the skill belongs to. Otherwise you can roll it in situations. So this particular animation needs a target, obviously, but there are other animations. This is actually a bunch of this is a current game that I'm running, so somewhere around here should be a player with ice armor. So at the moment the pay doesn't work because it doesn't produce enough information, so you need to do a roll on everything, and that should produce a persistent animation for this player. So the player can't actually remove this. I think you can I can probably actually let them remove it, but how you remove it in this case is, if I can find it, actually I was in the right place in the first place, is to go to the sequencer manager and just remove the animations playing. This sequence animator, sequence effects manager, I believe actually you can make it accessible to the players. Automated animations, hard animation tab. Yes, I've disabled this, so that probably could enable that and they could see it. One thing to be a bit careful of is sequencer by default doesn't allow players to play sequences, which would mean that the animations work for me but they won't work for the players. So you need to make sure that this here sequencer play effects is in fact set to players and above. By default I think it's set to trusted players. I mean, obviously if you've got a whole graduated thing, you've got some trusted players and some players above, you can set it to trusted players, but be aware that this defines whether the animations here work or not. for the players. You might be able to see them, but the players won't. So we have, I know he's not very exciting. See if we've got someone, and see if we can get a, I don't know, they've wandered around all over the place. Here we go, here's one. Combat, stinging tendril. Takes a little while initially to load the animation. And also these work from macros, so if we drag a stinging tendril to here and roll it, it'll work fine. So we also support recovery rolls. So there's a little blue animation for recovery rolls. And we support might rolls, speed rolls, and intellect rolls. And in all of these I still haven't managed to roll a 1. As far as blast a few times and see if I can get a 1 rolling. There we go. That was a critical success animation. And if the fumble animation plays, if they roll a 1, the animation for the blaster will not play, but the fumble animation will play. And I'm a bit too lucky. Anyway. Skills work if you have any animation set up for the skill. Oh, I do have an animation set up for that one. So you can stealth, and so skill, combat, abilities, pretty much any item that has this little AA sheet in it. Equipment. Equipment does, interestingly enough, but being no way to actually roll a dice for an equipment, the messages won't work. Anyway, that's a basic look at it. I'll try and get all this checked in with the AA dev. Let me know if there's anything or any other ways you would like to use this sort of system. I haven't quite worked out how to get the companions working. Companions in Cypher don't have anything to roll. Without being able to roll it, the message doesn't turn up in this list. If the message doesn't turn up in this list, the automatic animations can't hook into it. Most of the on-screen items provide animations. As I said, anything that has this little AA and has the ability to roll should provide an animation. Alright, have a good one, enjoy, and I'll let you know when it's all released, assuming it's verified or ratified. Cheers.